While everyone's been guessing July, a confidential FCC document just revealed something completely different. August 4th, 2025. That's when Starship Flight 10 is officially scheduled to launch. But here's the twist. This delay might actually be SpaceX's smartest move yet. After the Ship 36 disaster that shook Starbase, most experts predicted months of repairs. Instead, SpaceX is bouncing back in just weeks with a revolutionary new quick disconnect system that could change everything. The leaked filing shows they're not just fixing problems, they're completely reimagining how Starship launches. This isn't your typical setback story. Let's dive right in. The leaked FCC filing didn't just reveal a date, it exposed SpaceX's most audacious recovery strategy in company history. While Boeing takes years to bounce back from minor setbacks, SpaceX is turning their biggest disaster into their greatest technological leap forward. Here's what nobody expected. The August 4th target isn't a delay, it's actually SpaceX moving faster than anyone thought possible. After Ship 36's catastrophic failure, industry experts predicted a minimum 6-month recovery period. Traditional aerospace companies would form committees and spend years analyzing what went wrong. But SpaceX, they saw opportunity where others saw catastrophe. Let's talk about what really happened during the Ship 36 incident. The official reports mention testing anomalies, but leaked internal footage tells a different story. Multiple Raptor engines suffered cascading failures that triggered a complete system shutdown, sending debris across Pad A and damaging millions of dollars worth of ground infrastructure. The explosion was so violent that it literally melted sections of the launch mount. Most companies would see this as a crushing setback. SpaceX engineers saw it as free stress testing data. Within hours of the incident, SpaceX teams were already on site analyzing the wreckage. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. They weren't just planning repairs. They were designing a complete infrastructure revolution that would make Starship launches faster, cheaper, and more reliable than ever before. How do you turn a catastrophic explosion into a competitive advantage in just 6 weeks? Picture trying to fuel a 400-foot rocket that weighs more than the Empire State Building. The existing ship quick disconnect system was positioned 200 feet up the tower using interfaces designed for completely different operations. It was like trying to thread a needle while riding a roller coaster during an earthquake. SpaceX's solution? Flip the entire concept upside down. Instead of rebuilding the damaged tower system, they're creating something revolutionary. A compact, hybrid, quick disconnect welded directly to the booster QD's rear cover. This isn't just clever engineering. It's proof that SpaceX was already planning this upgrade long before Ship 36 exploded. They've cut a precise square hole in the booster QD's bottom section and installed new fuel and electrical lines. These aren't temporary Band-Aid fixes. They're the foundation for an entirely new launch architecture. SpaceX is essentially beta testing the future of rocket operations under the guise of disaster recovery. The temporary system is designed to be removable after static fire tests, but the supporting infrastructure modifications are permanent. SpaceX is building the groundwork for rapid turnaround operations that could enable multiple launches per day. If they can refuel and launch Starship as quickly as an airplane, they'll achieve something unprecedented in aerospace history. While infrastructure drama dominated headlines, something equally fascinating was happening in Mega Bay 2. All 9 engines for Ship 37, 6 Raptors and 3 Raptor vacuums, have been delivered, assembled, and are sitting ready for action. These aren't just any engines. They represent the cutting edge of propulsion technology, each one capable of producing over 500,000 pounds of thrust. Together, they generate enough power to lift the entire Statue of Liberty off its foundation. But here's what's really staggering. SpaceX has all engines ready and waiting, while infrastructure upgrades are still ongoing. This reveals something profound about their confidence level. They're not hoping for an August 4th launch. They're planning for it with military precision. The fact that they're willing to risk a $100 million Starship on an untested quick disconnect system shows either incredible confidence or borderline arrogance. Based on SpaceX's track record, it's probably both. Before Ship 37 can fly, it must survive the ultimate trial by fire, a full-duration, static fire test that simulates actual launch conditions. This isn't just lighting engines to see what happens. It's a carefully orchestrated symphony of physics that pushes every system to its absolute limits. Ship 37's test will be different from anything attempted before. The new quick disconnect system, upgraded fuel lines, modified electrical interfaces, everything is untested under real-world conditions. It's like performing brain surgery with instruments you've never used before. The chamber pressure alone reaches 300 bar, over 4,300 pounds per square inch. That's enough pressure to crush a car into a paperweight. And SpaceX is betting their entire recovery timeline on a system that exists only on paper and in computer simulations. What happens if the hybrid quick disconnect fails during the test? One failure could set Starship development back by months. While everyone obsesses over Starship drama, SpaceX quietly announced something that proves their operational excellence. Crew 11 launches July 31st using Dragon capsule Endeavour for its 6th mission, breaking the original 5-flight certification limit. This isn't just about cost savings, it's about proving that reusable spacecraft can be more reliable than disposable ones. While Boeing's Starliner remains grounded with no clear path forward, Dragon continues setting new standards for human spaceflight. The timing isn't coincidental. SpaceX is orchestrating a masterful 1-2 punch that will dominate space news. First, they'll demonstrate continued operational excellence with Dragon. Then just days later, they'll prove their recovery capabilities with Starship's return to flight. Here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. While SpaceX launches crews every few months with clockwork precision, Boeing's Starliner remains grounded indefinitely. The latest revelation? NASA is seriously considering making Starliner's next mission cargo only because it's too risky for human flight. Let that sink in. A spacecraft designed specifically to carry astronauts might be relegated to hauling supplies because it simply can't be trusted with human lives. Steve Stitch, NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager, didn't mince words. There's a strong chance we'll fly a cargo flight first. The problems plaguing Starliner read like a textbook on engineering failure. Helium leaks, thermal management disasters, thruster malfunctions. The irony is staggering. Boeing, with decades of aerospace experience and billions in government contracts, can't get a single spacecraft to work reliably. Meanwhile, SpaceX has become the backbone of American space operations. This brings us to the most critical point. The International Space Station's operational lifespan is rapidly approaching its end. Every day of Starliner delays isn't just embarrassing for Boeing, it's potentially catastrophic for America's space program. SpaceX essentially has a monopoly on crew transportation to the ISS. That's not healthy for competition or national security, but Boeing's continued failures are forcing NASA into an uncomfortable corner. Rely entirely on SpaceX or risk astronaut safety with an unreliable alternative. With the ISS scheduled for deorbit in the early 2030s, Boeing is rapidly running out of opportunities to prove Starliner's viability. So why August 4th specifically? The leaked FCC document provides regulatory clues, but the real answer lies in SpaceX's broader strategic chess game. They need to prove that rapid iteration can overcome seemingly insurmountable technical challenges faster than traditional aerospace companies can complete routine operations. Every day of delay gives competitors more time to catch up. Every successful launch extends SpaceX's technological lead. The August 4th target isn't just about getting back on schedule. It's about sending a clear message to the entire industry. But what happens if they miss? What if the new quick disconnect system fails spectacularly during static fire testing? The stakes couldn't be higher. One major failure could validate every critic who claims SpaceX moves too fast and takes too many risks. The modifications at Pad A represent far more than disaster recovery. They're the foundation for Starship's operational future. The new test stand, upgraded fuel systems, revolutionary quick disconnect design, all these changes are building blocks for something unprecedented. Airline-like space operations. Traditional rockets take months to prepare between launches. If SpaceX can reduce Starship turnaround time to weeks or even days, they'll achieve operational tempo that makes everyone else look like they're moving in slow motion. The welded steel framework, modified electrical systems, hybrid fuel delivery approach, these aren't temporary fixes. They're proof-of-concept implementations for technologies that will eventually enable multiple Starship launches per day. The engineering challenges that make this recovery so remarkable are staggering. The new ship quick disconnect system must achieve precise alignment with existing booster infrastructure while maintaining completely different pressure and electrical requirements. Ship systems operate at different pressures than booster systems. The electrical interfaces are completely incompatible. The mounting points weren't designed for dual-purpose use, yet SpaceX is making it work through sheer engineering brilliance. The square hole cut into the booster QD's bottom section isn't just functional, it's elegant. By routing new connections through existing infrastructure, they've minimized structural modifications while maximizing operational flexibility. By targeting such an aggressive recovery timeline, SpaceX is demonstrating something profound about organizational culture. They don't just build rockets, they build solutions at impossible speed. When traditional aerospace companies face setbacks, they form committees and implement changes with glacial speed. SpaceX takes a radically different approach. Learn fast, fail fast, improve fast. The August 4th target embodies this philosophy perfectly. It's also psychological warfare against every competitor who claims SpaceX is reckless. By proving they can recover from disasters faster than others can complete routine maintenance, they're redefining what's possible in aerospace engineering. The message is unmistakable. While you're still analyzing the problem, we've already built and tested 3 different solutions. If SpaceX succeeds with their August 4th target, they'll have proven that rapid iteration and aggressive timelines can overcome seemingly insurmountable technical challenges in record time. This approach could revolutionize large-scale engineering projects across all industries. But success isn't guaranteed. The new systems are completely untested. The timeline borders on impossible. One catastrophic failure could set Starship development back by months. The question isn't whether SpaceX can recover from the Ship 36 disaster. The question is whether they can do it so spectacularly that it becomes their greatest competitive advantage yet. Based on their track record of turning setbacks into breakthroughs, the smart money is on SpaceX achieving the impossible once again. So here we are. SpaceX has just 6 weeks to prove that disasters can become breakthroughs. August 4th isn't just another launch date, it's the moment we'll discover whether rapid innovation can truly outpace traditional aerospace thinking. The leaked FCC document revealed more than a timeline. It exposed a company that refuses to accept impossible as an answer. While Boeing struggles with basic spacecraft operations, SpaceX is revolutionizing how we think about space infrastructure entirely. But this story is far from over. Will the untested quick disconnect system actually work? Can Ship 37 survive its static fire trial? And what happens when other aerospace companies realize they're not just competing with SpaceX's rockets, they're competing with SpaceX's entire philosophy of turning setbacks into comebacks? The space industry is watching. The world is waiting. And somewhere at Starbase, engineers are working around the clock to make the impossible look routine once again. What do you think? Will SpaceX pull off another miracle? Or has their aggressive timeline finally caught up with them? Let me know in the comments below and make sure you're subscribed because this August 4th launch is going to be one for the history books. A $100 million test site gets obliterated by an explosion. Most companies would shut down for months. But SpaceX? They just turned their broken launch mount into a genius test stand in weeks. How is this even possible? While competitors file insurance claims, SpaceX is already preparing Ship 37 for static fire using this wild improvised setup that shouldn't work, but does. Let's dive right in. January 12th, 2025. Ship 36 was just another routine test at SpaceX's Massey facility, until it wasn't. Without warning, a composite overwrapped pressure vessel deep inside the nose cone ruptured with devastating force. The explosion was so violent it launched metal debris hundreds of feet into the air and turned a $100 million facility into a smoking crater. But here's what nobody expected. This COPV failed at 60% of its rated pressure. That's like a car tire exploding when you're only halfway done inflating it. Something was fundamentally wrong, and SpaceX had no idea what. Within hours, the damage assessment was brutal. Pumps destroyed, vaporizers obliterated, heat exchangers twisted into unrecognizable metal sculptures. Any rational company would be looking at 6 to 12 months of downtime and insurance claims. SpaceX isn't rational, they're relentless. While recovery crews were still clearing debris, SpaceX engineers were already breaking every rule in the aerospace playbook. Their solution? Convert their orbital launch mount, a structure designed to hold and launch rockets, into a makeshift test stand for Starship. Think about the audacity of this idea. It's like deciding to turn a Formula One racetrack into a car assembly line. The